We are living in a brand new era of space. It's not just about the launch anymore. It's about everything that comes after. And Rocket Lab, in their latest update for investors, just dropped a bombshell of a vision for how they plan to own every single piece of that journey. So let's break down what this really means.
So you see this? This isn't just some cool marketing graphic. This is a declaration. We're talking rockets, we're talking the satellites themselves, we're talking entire constellations, and even the high-tech sensors on board. For a while, this was just an idea, but now, Rocket Lab is putting the whole industry on notice. They aren't just dreaming about this, they're actually building the whole shebang.
All right, so the first thing we really have to get our heads around is this huge change in their thinking. Rocket Lab is officially not just a rocket company anymore. They are signaling a massive evolution.
And this is how it all fits together. For years, they absolutely perfected launch with their Electron rocket. Then they moved into spacecraft, building the actual satellite, the bus that carries everything. And now, with their latest acquisition, they've grabbed the final piece of the puzzle. Payloads. That's the specialized hardware, the brains of the mission, that does the real work up in orbit.
This move makes them what's called an end-to-end space company. And think about it like this. They used to just sell you the plane ticket. Now they build the airplane, they manufacture the critical navigation systems inside it, and they operate the air traffic control. They own the entire trip, from the factory all the way to the final destination in orbit.
And believe me, this isn't just talk. They're putting their money where their mouth is. We're talking a $275 million deal to buy Geost. This is a huge strategic move. It brings in incredibly important national security technology, it locks down their supply chain right here in the US, and it adds a whole bunch of experts to their team.
Of course, none of this big, futuristic ambition means a thing if you can't deliver right now. And for Rocket Lab, that solid ground they're standing on is their workhorse rocket, Electron. And wow, its recent performance has been absolutely incredible.
So let's talk about that performance. I want you to remember two quick numbers. First up, 4. That's how many missions they blasted off in just 4 weeks.
And the second number? 2, as in 2 days. That's the new record for the shortest time between launches from the exact same launch pad. That kind of speed is a total game changer.
And here you see the payoff. Those numbers we just talked about, 4 launches, one right after another, it all adds up to this. They have proven they can launch every single week. This isn't a goal anymore. It's something they've actually done. And it's why they're on track for more than 20 launches this year. The core business is absolutely humming.
And when you perform like that, the big players take notice. They've just locked in their first ever dedicated mission with the European Space Agency. That's a huge stamp of approval. And that's on top of new science missions for NASA. When both ESA and NASA are on your client list, it sends a crystal clear message. You are a world leader.
Okay, so Electron is the proven workhorse of today. But now let's talk about the company's biggest bet, the real game changer for tomorrow. And that is the much, much larger and fully reusable Neutron rocket.
So this is their public checklist for getting Neutron to the pad. And the key thing to see here? All the big physical stuff. The rocket's body, the launch site, that's all pretty much good to go. The main path now really runs through 2 big milestones. Getting that powerful new engine qualified, and then the final dress rehearsal on the pad. They're shifting from building to testing.
And everything starts with the engine. Progress on their new Archimedes engine is moving incredibly fast. They're just testing it relentlessly. We're talking over 50 test fires, sometimes running it 3 or 4 times in a single day. This is what it looks like when you're in a mad dash to get an engine ready for flight.
All right, next up, the body of the rocket itself. And this is not a render, this is the real deal flight hardware for Neutron's second stage. It just passed a super important deep freeze test, and it is physically on a truck heading to the launch site as we speak. This is happening.
And finally, the doorway to space. This is Launch Complex 3 in Virginia, built from the ground up just for Neutron. It's having its official opening this month, which means all the major stuff on the ground is now in place. The stage is literally set. It's just waiting for its rocket.
So the ambition is just massive, right? Which leads to the obvious question, how on earth are they paying for all of this? Well, that brings us to the financial engine that's making this whole vision a reality.
Well, for starters, the business is growing, and it's growing fast. Look at this, a 36% jump in revenue compared to the same time last year. That's some serious growth, and it's coming from both launching more rockets and building more satellites.
And here it is. This is the number that makes all that ambition possible. $1 billion with a B. That's their total backlog of signed contracts. That's a huge amount of guaranteed future work that gives them the stability to pour money into a game changer like Neutron.
Now this chart right here, this might be the most important one in the whole explainer because it gets right to the heart of their entire strategy. Look at that backlog. 41% of it, almost half, is now from their Space Systems division. This isn't just about having another business line. That steady, non-launch money is the fuel that funds the hugely expensive development of Neutron.
So what does this all add up to? It adds up to this beautiful site. A full-on push fueled by a super strong core business to get their future, to get Neutron on that launch pad. And they've set a very ambitious goal. Before the end of 2026. You know, they started a revolution by giving small satellites a ride to orbit. Now they've built this proven, profitable end-to-end space company to stand on. With a foundation this solid, the real question isn't just about their next rocket, it's about their next revolution. What part of our journey to space are they going to completely transform next?